What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another Formula 1 video, and today we're looking at the 1985 Alain Prost McLaren hand-signed mini helmet.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Grim, and today, of course, we're looking at the 1985 Alain Prost McLaren Formula 1 mini helmet. Now, as you guys know, I've met multiple Formula 1 world champions, and I'm privileged enough to say that I have met Alain Prost before during his time. And to say that, I've met Alain multiple times at the Australian Grand Prix, and all I will say off the bat, Alain Prost is an amazing person, amazing human being, signed so many people when he is interacting with the fans. He wasn't as popular back in the days. Obviously, a lot of people knew Alain, obviously being Ayrton Senna's main rival, and obviously the story Senna versus Prost and everything like this. But all I was like I was saying, it was pretty surreal to see Alain Prost in real life right in front of me. Obviously, he's aged quite a bit since obviously his time at McLaren, which is, you know, normal. But to see Alain Prost right in front of you, one of the greatest world champions of all time. Unfortunately, he's not in my top 5. Maybe he's like 6 on my list. But to win 4 championships, he was the professor, known as the professor, being as consistent as he could throughout the season. If it meant finishing second to lead the championship, he'd finish second. If it was 4th, he'd make sure he'd finish 4th. And Alain Prost, as a driver, absolutely magnificent, absolutely fast, very quick. I think that Senna had more natural talent, but Prost was, I think, a bit more smarter when it came to his approach in Formula 1. Now, Alain Prost, Formula 1 1985 mini helmet is a special edition. Now, this original piece here, I actually bought the helmet itself, actually off eBay. I bought it hand signed. I got like the person that sent me the actual signature piece, like a photo proof of Alain signing. Now, the reason I didn't get this signed by Alain Prost, because back in the days, to get an Alain Prost mini helmet, or even today maybe, it is very, very difficult to find them. But I will say that, so back when I was collecting mini helmets and started off, I wasn't able to find an Alain Prost, and they were very expensive for the price I was looking at back in the days. Now I get to a stage where I'm just buying random helmets. I'm just like, oh shit, I don't care how much it is, no matter what it is, I'm going to get it. So I thought, you know, I hadn't seen Alain Prost for a couple of years since, so I bought this maybe a couple of years ago. I was like, you know what, it's hand-signed, photo proof, that's the proof of signature, or that's the actual signature there. I had photo proof of signature, and I was happy with it. So this is the re-release, obviously the decal here. I want to actually maybe buy a new one because it is peeling, but there's sticker decals for the Marlboro. You're not allowed to put cigarette sponsorships on your helmets. But besides all that, to have a signed Alain Prost piece in my collection, I couldn't be more happier. Now, it is so original, this helmet. Really cool, really nostalgic. Obviously, the padding underneath is the old school brown. Rating the helmet out of 10, I'm giving it an 8.5, maybe even 9 out of 10. I've always liked Alain Prost. Now, of course, I love Ayrton Senna. Who doesn't love Ayrton Senna, right? Ayrton's... to me, he's the second best of all time, okay? Now, I can have the debate with anyone. I think that just naturally fast, obviously, and all that, but I rate Senna the second best of all time. And to have Alain Prost, someone who was rivals with Senna, actually meet him, and I have signatures of Alain on actual photo pieces. And I'll tell you a funny story. I had this photo of Alain, Senna, and I couldn't remember who's on the podium with him, but there was them 3 on the podium, and I actually had Alain sign the piece. And the way he looked at the photo of him and Senna on the podium, just that memory of me seeing that was just, I don't know, it gave me goosebumps, man. Just the way he looked at it, it was like, it was something you can't explain, man. Like, and you just think to yourself, like, these stories, Senna versus Prost, these people are 2 human beings, and what they did and all the history they made, it's crazy, man. It's nostalgic as, and that was like one memory of Alain Prost, and, you know, seeing that photo, and obviously getting stuff signed by Alain. And I've taken a photo with him back in probably 2016 or 2015. I got a photo with Alain, and I thought, you know what, it's really cool just to, you know, see an old school Formula 1 world champion like that. And besides all that, my experiences with him have been absolutely amazing. But like I said before, he hasn't come to Australia for a couple of years, so I didn't want to risk buying the helmet. I actually haven't seen him for a very long time, even since buying this helmet at the Australian Grand Prix. He had the duties with Alpine and Renault back in the days with Renault. And when he was with Renault, he used to come to the Australian Grand Prix. But like I said, hadn't seen him. Now that he's left Formula 1 completely, in the sense of as an ambassador role or anything, he doesn't really come to the Australian Grand Prix at all. But you never know, in 2025, the first race of the season, if Alain comes, it would be absolutely amazing. I will bring the visor with me because I'd love to get that double signature on this. But, of course, like I said, it is hand-signed at the top. Now, they didn't use a uni paint pen. They used a normal Sharpie, as you guys can tell, which it is what it is when you're buying stuff off someone else. But if I can suggest to you right now, if you're someone that's trying to get an Alain Prost signature or whatever, try to use a unique paint pen on these helmets because the signature will last a long time. I prefer to try to get the visor signed. That's my go-to when I try and get a helmet signed. I go for the visors. I just think it looks nicer when you're displaying them. But like I said, every helmet has a memory. And when I look at this helmet in particular, obviously there's no memory of me signing it, but then I just think of the times of meeting Alain Prost and stuff like that. So every helmet's nostalgic. It's pretty cool. So hopefully one day Alain will come back to the Australian Grand Prix. Like I said, an amazing person, super cool, signed so many people when I've met him. Never had a bad experience with Alain Prost. I've heard a lot of people say how nice he was as well. And I don't know if people mention too much stuff about Senna with him and all that, but yeah, obviously he's with the Senna Foundation now, and actually watching the new Netflix series Senna, when I have time to actually watch it, it actually isn't too bad. Obviously some stuff I feel like is a bit made up, but hopefully I don't know too much about the backstory of it, but hopefully they actually spoke to the proper people and got actual stories of how Senna was and stuff like that, because you know, I don't want it to be too Hollywoody, but I will say it's cool the way they portrayed Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna. So shout out to the Netflix series Senna. If you guys haven't watched it, I suggest watching it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't mind it, actually. I don't mind. I thought it was going to be very Netflixy and just, you know, because I love the Senna documentary back in 2010 with Prost and Senna there, and that was amazing. Probably the best Formula One film I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. Absolutely amazing. They've done a really tremendous job with that. But I'll go, what are they going to do with this one? It's going to be too Hollywoody. No, I will say it's pretty decent. It's pretty good. So I rate it. So I suggest to you guys to watch it. Guys, this has been the 1985 Alain Prost McLaren helmet. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Tell me if you guys have met Alain Prost before. He's part of my World Championships cabinet. I will be doing, hopefully, a full look at all my helmets going into the new year, 2025. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy. This has been the Alain Prost 1985 McLaren helmet. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next Formula 1 video. Thank you.